everybody. This is TG. Welcome to the Spectrum Podcast. Live now, we're going to start talking all the latest things regarding regarding all of this. Here's what I'm going to tell you guys right now is what we're going to do is we're going to discuss all the latest going on in the sports world right now. We're going to discuss every single thing going on right now. So, I'm going to start with the transfer portal for college football. As I've talked about before, there has been some big time movement going on. It's been really big, honestly, how ridiculous the transfer portal has been. If you ask me, this transfer portal has been absolutely and utter ridiculous. It's honestly been kind of ridiculous, honestly. Like, I've seen a couple of transfers. There have been a couple of kids who have hit the portal, a couple of kids who stayed. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up some of these some of the very things I've seen hit the portal. For starters, we did have a North Carolina corner hit the portal. His name, and give me a second to pull it up. Give me a second, y'all. My computer's been running a little slow today. Let me see if I can find him. If I can't find him, I'm going to just let you guys know. But I would say, okay, here we go. His name is Greg Smith. He's totaled 24 tackles to 1 interception today. He hit the portal today, and I think he's someone that a lot of teams have been interested in. There have been teams offering. I will say that for any college football team that gets this kid, he's pretty good. I think a lot of college football teams should be looking into this kid. He's pretty good from what I've seen of him at Duke. There's been a breaking news that happened 4 hours ago that Josiah Thompson, the South Carolina offensive lineman, has hit the portal. Not has hit the portal. He's withdrawn from the transfer portal. News carried out today by Gamecock Central. He's withdrawn from the portal. It's been that's big for South Carolina because you are going to need him. Their offensive line has been solid, not great. There's been some more big news, guys. More big news. We got Dante Moore. Dante Moore will be returning for the 2026 season, which I find surprising because Dylan Raiola, and on top of that, Dylan Raiola has re-entered the transfer portal, it looks like. Yeah, he's re-entered the portal, and Dante Moore's coming back for another year. Man, that's big. That just broke 21 minutes ago and 18 minutes ago. Those two stories just broke like 20 minutes ago. That is ridiculous that this has happened already. It's kind of ridiculous, honestly. Man, that is big, huge news. Like, we all saw on the OHL podcast group chat, we had all talked about Mika had brought it up that Dylan Raiola had hit the portal and transferred to Oregon. So we all thought that meant Dante Moore left. Nope. Instead, he's, as it's found out about 20 minutes ago, this man literally is announcing he came back. And now you have Dylan Raiola hitting the portal again, which is ridiculous. I'm like, wow. That is absolutely ridiculous. This man is actually coming back for the 2026. So that means Dylan Raiola he'll be in the portal looking for a new home again. It looks like, man, here's what I would say. That kid should have stayed in Nebraska. Like, there was no point in you leaving. Like, what was the point? The other news we have, obviously, is that DJ Lagway has committed to Baylor, by the way. And a quarterback by the name of Walker Howard, who transferred from LSU, Ole Miss, and Louisiana. He's now going to Ole Miss again. He's going back to Ole Miss. That is ridiculous. This is wow. So it pretty much shows you could transfer back to the school you left from. Who would have thought, right? Another set of breaking news is that you do have the Alabama and Arkansas State transfer edges committing to South Carolina as well. So it's actually pretty it's been pretty insane. Another one that we have here. There was another one here that happened. Yep, right here. TJ Finley. He transferred from LSU, from Auburn, from the Kansas State, from Tulane West to West Kentucky or Western Kentucky, I should say, to Georgia State, and now he's transferring to a new school. I don't know what this new school is. It looks like it could be a G5 school, but it's absolutely ridiculous that this is happening. That just like this is his. Let me see. How many times did this kid transfer? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is like his 7th time transferring. It's absolutely ridiculous. That was going on in the portal right now. In college football, like a couple kids have found homes. There's still a lot of kids left in the portal, but the biggest news is that Dante Moore is coming back for another year, and now Dylan Raiola hit the portal. This is ridiculous. That is the biggest news I've seen thus far. That is the biggest news in the portal thus far. That is the single biggest news. Now, college basketball, there is some breaking news. A college basketball coach, longtime basketball coach Billy Courtney, has died. I just saw this. This came up about 5 hours ago. That's wow. That is the biggest news I've heard thus far. His cause of death is being described as a sudden passing here in this article. That is shocking. He's been a long-time basketball coach. He's a long-time basketball coach who's serving as an assistant for the Temple Owls. So this man is a current basketball coach. And currently serving as an assistant for the Temple Owls, Bill Courtney has passed away suddenly. It was just a sudden passing. No one knows the details. No one knows what happened. But this news just came out. This is wow. This is big. I'm taken aback by this news. Jesus Christ, man. That is some news. Oh my God. I don't know how to feel about this. Like to Bill Courtney and his family, I would tell everybody right now, have prayers for that man's family, because that is prayers to him and his family, because that is just wow. Whew. That is just all of a sudden that might be the biggest news that just happened, because that is, I don't know. I'll continue to look into it to see if there's any more details, but that is all we have right now. Is his cause of death is just a sudden passing. That is absolutely sad. I'm not gonna lie. Man, I don't know how to feel about that one right there. That is guys, I don't know how to feel about that. That is the biggest news I think there is in college basketball. I'll try to get some more details to come out, but man, that is ridiculous. Now let's get to some news in the NFL. If you guys already have heard, is that you guys already know that Mike Tomlin and John Harbaugh are no longer the coaches of the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mike Tomlin had stepped down yesterday from being the head coach of the Steelers, which was shocking. And all of a sudden, that no one saw coming. John Harbaugh had been fired the by the Ravens because obviously I think the Ravens got tired of the mediocrity. It was about time that somebody to get a new voice in there. That is pretty much the biggest news there is those two. And my feelings on it is, look, I think it was gonna happen sooner or later. Like with the Steelers, I think it was gonna be time for you to move on to Mike Tomlin at some point. It was gonna happen. Yeah, you guys got the playoff games and everything, but you guys are gonna end up moving on for him at some point. And for the Ravens, it was the same with John Harbaugh, with where the team, the direction of the Baltimore Ravens are going. I think it was about time that they moved on as well. Now, I think it would be best for them, for not only the NFL teams, the Ravens and the Steelers, but it will also be best for John and Mike Tomlin to move on from their respective teams. Now, there are rumors that Mike Tomlin is getting a media, like he will be in the media from here on out. Like he'll be in the media as an analyst. That is a rumor that's going around. I don't know what else there. I don't know anything else. I don't hear him being mentioned for any other NFL job, for any other head coaching job. That's what I'm hearing. But John Harbaugh is getting mentioned for a lot of jobs himself. He's getting mentioned for the Tennessee Titans. I know he was getting mentioned for the Steelers. I'll say that now. Marcus Freeman, the Notre Dame coach, he was getting mentions as well. Oh, but these are some big news, and like I said, it's pretty much showing you how much the NFL is moving on. Like you have some of these great coaches. Like it shows you that times are changing today in the NFL, not just in college football, but in the NFL too. Because another big set of news that has come up is that two-time Pro Bowl wide receiver Adam Thielen, I think his last name is retiring from the NFL after 13 seasons. So this is another big that's another big set of news, is these guys retiring after all this time as well. It's pretty big. That's some news, man. That's some breaking news that's been happening lately. Today, and it just came out today on the 14th. It just came out today. This is the Minnesota Vikings are also very confident in their ability. I'll tell you guys this right now. There's also been some breaking news that Kevin O'Connell, the Vikings DC, has been mentioned for head coaching jobs as well. Now the Vikings believe that they will be able to keep him, but he has been mentioned in some coaching jobs. So we'll continue to see how that whole thing plays out. But also, the Vikings are also having a quarterback competition in the 2026 room. Not surprising, given how bad JJ McCarthy was. I mean, he's been terrible. So it's like, yeah, you need to have yourself a quarterback put up. Oh, the Eagles, another big breaking news announcement has happened with them, is that their offensive coordinator, Kevin Patol, he will no longer be the offensive coordinator anymore, which is saying something right there. That is big. In all fairness, that is pretty big news going on in the NFL world right there. Is that so now I know the Eagles will be doing runarounds as to who their next offensive coordinator will be. Matt Ryan is now known as the new president of the Falcons football. Yes, like people who think I might be joking, I'm not joking. This is news that is on the NFL.com. He is currently, right now, the Atlanta Falcons president of football. And Ryan made it that his first priority be to search for a new head coach, which says everything right there. And this happened this year. Let's click on this. So, according to Matt Ryan, and here are a couple little segments for you guys to listen to. Is Ryan's first priority is to search for a new coach and general manager. To the Falcons fans, this is straightly a quote from Matt Ryan himself. He says, to the Falcon fans, my mission since I was drafted has never changed, Ryan said Tuesday in his first press conference as president of football. It is to help this organization do everything it can to be champions and win championships. And there is a sense of unfinished business. The head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, Raheem Morris, has been fired, as well as general manager Terry Fortnott. After the Atlanta Falcons finished a 8-9 season, Falcons owner Arthur Blank also made front office changes, including the creation of the president of football position, which is the position Matt Ryan takes. Ryan takes over the leadership of football operations from Greg Bielus. Mr. Greg is what I'm going to call him, who remains the president and CEO. The new coach and general manager will report to Ryan, who Blank said Tuesday is in charge of everything between football and grass. Blank of Ryan, his quote says, we feel he's the perfect choice. Adding he spoke with NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell and made him aware we were chatting with Matt. And his response was that you're not going to find anybody smarter, better, more committed, a better human being, a better leader for the NFL and for your franchise, is what Roger Goodell has said to them. While Ryan is in charge with settling the course of the football team, he emphasized he won't interfere with the traditional decisions handled by the coach or the general manager. When he asked what is first consideration seeking the front office position with an NFL team, Ryan said, I didn't. During the course of 3 years as a NFL analyst for CBS, which he was, I was really happy with what I was doing at the time with CBS and was excited about that opportunity. And I want to make it clear, the only place I would do it. And I feel really connected to the organization and have my entire life or adult life. So it's basically been made clear that Ryan only took the position of president of football for the Falcons because this is the only team he'd be willing to do that for. He believes in the talented players on the defensive side of the ball and the offensive side of the ball as well. He believes that they have some talented pieces on the outside as well. He believes that they have a lot to build, especially the confidence in the players they have in their building. He believes they have strong pieces that can make things happen. He also loves Michael Penix Jr., who's still recovering from his season-ending surgery on his left knee, which that is news to me that he had season-ending surgery. But it is pretty much being known that Matt Ryan loves everything about the players on the Atlanta Falcons, and it should tell you everything that you need to know about his job and how he feels about the guys. Now, he is looking into his first set of candidates right now. Matt Ryan is as the president of Atlanta Falcons football. He is pretty much looking into coaches such as John Harbaugh, Mike McDaniel. Right now, he's started with these two. That is big, and that is something that he's going to continue talking to more coaches. There are specific windows that him and the coaches talk about. Or should I say that he could talk to the coaches. There are specific windows in which they can do that. So, it's actually pretty something to hear this kind of news going on right now. Is that. It's actually been pretty big. Now let's talk about some of the playoffs as well that have happened because there is a bit of news regarding the playoffs. Not this. Now, when it comes to the NFL, um, they do have the fact where the 49ers outdo themselves, the Bills warn, the Bears come back, and other feats in the wild card. And there is here an article about it. The article pretty much talks about the Texans defeating the Pittsburgh Steelers. CJ Stroud. And what's so impressive about CJ Stroud is this guy has been in the NFL for only 3 years. This man already has more playoff wins than freaking Dak Prescott. Already. It's ridiculous. This man has went to the second round 3 times. 3 times in his playoff career already. And him and the Texans featuring Cade Stover, former Buckeyes, Cade Stover, Tommy Togai, and Arnett will be facing the New England Patriots with Drake May and Travion Henderson as the 2 leading players on this team for the Patriots. These guys have really grown on it, and I'm very impressed with Mike Vrabel. These guys have done such great things. When you look at what the New England Patriots have been this year, I did not expect them to be as good as they were this year. But hey, when I expected them to be better, but not this good. Ooh, the growth of the New England Patriots and their playoff win has really solidified them, and now they will be playing the Houston Texans. This is a game that I think everybody should be interested in, and a game that people will be very interested in watching, especially Buckeye fans, if you're asking yourself. But also New England Patriots and freaking again, Texans fans, you're definitely going to be interested in this one. I'm excited to see how that game plays. Then you also have the 49ers who came back from a deficit against the Eagles. They came back against the Eagles and won. Despite having accumulated 25 injuries and counting, because the freaking what's so shocking is that the 49ers have like 25 injuries that have accumulated throughout the season and even more going on. But they have still made the playoffs and they beat the freaking Eagles. This is what you call depth at its finest. They made no excuses and they just overcame and won. With all the doubts and all the problems that this team has had, they have shown that they have shown you that they are everything that you want an NFL team to be, which is having great depth. I'm not gonna lie, I am very, very much looking forward to how these teams go up against each other. I'm very, very much looking forward to them versus who are they going up against right now? Let's see. Who will be there? So, they'd be going up against the Seahawks. Where I'm not surprised the Seahawks made it. They've been having a great year, especially Jason Smith-Njigba. Jason Smith-Njigba has had a historical season this year in the NFL. He's done what no other receiver has done in years. And I'll tell you guys later when I break down this game with the Seattle Seahawks and the 49ers later. But this is big. It's honestly something I'm very honored to see what the 49ers have been able to do. And again, it did lead to the firing of one of the offensive coordinators because I'm not going to lie, the Eagles' offense has not been the same. But that's mostly also been I don't know what's been going on with the Eagles' offense. I guess you miss Kellen Moore that much. You must. Now, for the rest of the playoffs, you have Josh Allen being able to outdo Trevor Lawrence, which tells you everything you need to know. And the Bears coming back to win a huge game, aka the Bears, aka I would say the Green Bay Packers choking because they had the game won, but they were choking the game away. The article that brings all of this up is located under the NFL's channel, I should say, or should I say the NFL's website, if you guys want to read it. But I'm telling you right now, this has been pretty this has been pretty shocking, honestly. Now, when you're talking about the top 5 wild card performances, that article they also released is based on the list. It's Josh Allen, Caleb Williams, which I'm surprised, Will Anderson Jr., as well as Danielle Hunter of the Houston Texans, the 2 edge rushers, Colston Loveland, Christian Kirk. Those are your top 5. I'm surprised CJ didn't make it. I'm surprised. That is shocking to me. That is shocking to me in a lot of ways because he did have a great performance. But hey, can't be mad at it. So that is big. That is big, though. I will give it that. That is big. That is big. If you ask me too, by the way, I would say that when it comes down to it, when it comes to the NFL playoffs, I'll let you guys know this that with all the news that has been going on, it is pretty big to see just how much has been going on since then. And I will say that with Mike Tomlin's decision to step away from the Pittsburgh Steelers, it is going to affect if the Steelers can keep Aaron Rodgers, which I don't expect them to. But I will say that this does affect the Steelers regarding Aaron Rodgers. So we'll see exactly how things play out with him. But hey, who knows what could happen? Who knows what things can happen? Who knows? Did not mean to click that. Now, guys, let's move on to some NBA news and rumors that have been going on lately. The Charlotte Hornets have announced the retirement of a franchise legend jersey. And apparently this franchise legend just so happens to be Dale Curry, Steph Curry's father. His jersey will be retired with the Charlotte Hornets very, very soon. As a matter of fact, let me see. Do they give a date here? They don't give you a date as to when they retire, but I would assume be the Charlotte Hornets' next home game, which if I were to check the game schedule, let's see here. Let me check the schedule here. Let's check the schedule to see when their next home game is. I'll tell you guys this right now. They are not playing this week. They are playing, let's see here. Pistons, Hornets. Where is it? Wait. Pistons, Blazers, Magic. Here we go, the Hornets. Let's see. Is this a... Nope, this is an away game. So no. So that's not a home game. That's an away game for them. Let's go here to the Charlotte Hornets. Let's look at their games. Let's see when is their next home game. They don't have a home game. They don't have a home game with the Warriors. The Nuggets. Let's see here. Okay, so let's see. All right, so their next home game will be against the Cavaliers. That's their next home game, which I would assume that's when they will retire Dale Curry's jersey. That man is a legend. I've gotten a chance to go back and watch a lot of his stuff since I was a young kid. And in all honesty, I'm actually happy I did, even if I never got a chance to watch these guys live. It's actually the biggest news that I think you would see. Is the retirement of a Legends jersey is huge. Oh, guys, apparently, hold on here. You know, we just got done talking some NFL news, and then some freaking NFL news pops up about Mike Tomlin. Oh my god, dude. Apparently, there's a reason why Mike Tomlin wanted to leave. Uh, a guy, a journalist, an insider named Joshua Anderson spoke about what she had heard about regarding Mike Tomlin's situation, which is her quotes are, "The facts of the matter are, league sources heard that Mike Tomlin was contemplating leaving Pittsburgh even before the season started," Anderson herself says, adding there's been a belief that Tomlin did not feel appreciated with contingents around the city believing he should be fired. I would say that this has been building gradually for the last 3 years, in her source's opinion. So apparently, the reason why Mike Tomlin left is because he didn't feel appreciated by the media or by the fans in Pittsburgh. That was his whole reason. That seems to be the reason for him leaving, which doesn't sound shocking, to be quite honest. That is something. Another set of news that's happened is Anthony Davis had called out when it comes to the NBA. Now back to the NBA. Now that we pretty much know that the NFL news, if there's more NFL news that pops up randomly, or any more news that pops up randomly, we'll know. Oh, apparently there is some more news. College football apparently has Utah cornerback Smith Shoden follows Kyle Whittingham to Michigan. That is the first time I've heard of that. And the NFL has another news that popped up with Kirk Cignetti being floated around for head coaching jobs in the NFL. Now, I don't see him leaving Indiana. I don't. If he does, that would be surprising. But I don't see him leaving. I don't. I don't. I don't. I don't see that happening. Sorry, guys, but that's not gonna happen. But that is some two big newses that just popped up lately. So these are just newses that are coming out. Now, Anthony Davis, back to the NBA. Anthony Davis takes a shot at the media. Y'all better stop listening to these lies on app. Apparently, the media, and the reason he says this is because there have been some lies made about him in the media. I would assume that it's on some of the social media apps regarding his injuries. And that's why he's been going after these guys, because they've been making some lies up about his injuries. So that's what he's going on about. Another set of news that we could talk about is Bones Highland making history off the bench for the Timberwolves win over the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, what are we talking about here? Bones Highland had a historical performance where he posts 41 minutes, impressive, plus minutes of 41. And those 21 minutes of playing time, according to the Athletics Aaron Gleeman, that is the most in Timberwolves history of any player off the bench. And in those 41 minutes, Bones Highland had 23 points, 5 assists with 0 turnovers in those 41 minutes, which is another historical feat that he's made as in the history. He is the third player. Bones Highland becomes the third player in franchise history to score at least 20 points with 5 assists and 0 turnovers off the bench. Highland had only averaged 6.4 to 2.5, 6.4 points, 2.5 assists, and shooting of 44% on the season. So to say his performance Tuesday night was unexpected would be an understatement, according to the article. And it's true. That is understatement. I never expected much from this guy, but with the NBA, you never know what to expect with a lot of these guys. However, the two of Minnesota's key players on the bench during the entire game, Highland took full advantage of the opportunity. This corner three gave him the season high of 20 points in over 2 minutes going into the fourth quarter, which is very, very impressive. That is very, very impressive from a bench player. And yeah, that is a huge, huge understatement as to how good this guy was coming off the bench. I remember watching this game. He was ridiculous. And I see, where the heck does this be going for bench players in the NBA? Like, legit. And nowadays, it's like, man, you don't expect to see this anymore. You really don't. Another big set of news is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander of the Oklahoma City Thunder hitting a big time shot, a big time game winner over Victor Wembanyama. He went right after Victor and managed to hit the game winning shot to win the Oklahoma City Thunder a game against the San Antonio Spurs for the season, which was big. If you're pretty much asking yourself that, it really was a big deal. Another bit of news is Dillon Brooks, the Suns guard, the Phoenix Suns shooting guard, or if anything, had delivered another poorly timed fragrant foul, apparently, from what I understand. And he had Dylan Gabriel. This is not surprising for him. He commits a whole host of terrible acts. He really does. It's actually pretty sad what this guy does. I ain't even got to read the article because I've seen it throughout my time watching him in the NBA. This guy has been utterly, utterly terrible. He does those things, and it's something that just really, really doesn't help his teams at all. If anything, he puts them in more bad situations when he does stuff like that. He needs to know when and where to do this stuff. I don't know what is wrong with this guy, but he really does need to. He needs to find a way to calm down, because this, like, dude, you can't keep doing these stupid. You can't keep doing these stupid things off the like have common sense, for God's sakes, man. And I mean, seriously, I don't know what Dylan Brooks be thinking when he's doing this. It's like, if you're gonna do a flagrant foul, at least time it right. Like, there's a time to be aggressive. It reminds me so much of David Minoson, where David Minoson would get too physical and too handsy. And it's like, dude, you gotta know when to pull back so you're not getting a pass interference call. With Dylan Brooks, you get way too physical, way too much. It's like, there's a time and a place for this. You need to learn how much to get physical and when to not overdo your game. It's like, dude, it's like, dude, seriously, get real with yourself. Oh, why would you do these stupid things? Why? 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 It's some of this news that just keeps popping up with this moron on why he would just make stupid moves after stupid moves after stupid moves. Who knows why? By the way, guys, there is a little bit more about the NBA. John Morant is likely to get traded, is what I understand. And not even likely, he is getting traded from what I understand. Now, there are teams that have been heavily interested in him, such as the Brooklyn Nets, the Miami Heat, and countless others. But the fact that John Morant is getting traded is saying something right there. I'm surprised the Grizzlies would want to trade him. But given some of the stuff that he has done, I can kind of see why you would lose your patience with him. And the trade deadline will be coming up at some point. Right, we'll see if John Morant gets traded before the trade deadline ends. But as far as I know, there hasn't been anything about him getting traded yet. He's just in limbo, pretty much waiting to see what happens. Like I said, you got a couple of teams that have been that are looking to get their hands on him. And as far as I could tell, that's all the news that's been going on in the college football, college basketball, NBA, and NFL worlds. Is That's all the only news you can find. Again, the biggest news out of all of that being a college basketball coach who's still coaching passed away at 55. Like, he's currently still coaching and he just randomly passed away. That is the biggest news I've heard thus far. And to see that that's what's been going on is utterly ridiculous. Now, the next show, I will focus on the college football national championship game. I will give my full thoughts and opinions on that, and then I will also be breaking down. I will also be giving down my full opinions on the NFL playoffs as well. I'll be giving down my full playoffs, and I would also want you guys to tune in to Patreon on the OHL Podcast Patreon channel, where you have my NFL Rundown podcast, where I will start doing more reactions. Because, here I would talk a lot of NFL, I would talk a lot of NBA, I would talk a lot of different sports. It's been great being on here with you guys. I know for a fact that you guys might have been expecting more, but for now, I wanted to just start this Spectrum podcast by telling you guys all the news that's been going around the college football, college basketball, NBA, and NFL. I just wanted to give you guys all the big updates that's been coming around thus far regarding these sports to begin with. And I'm looking forward to covering these sports a lot more. I'm looking forward to doing a lot of breakdowns, doing a lot of analysts, I should say, analyzing all these teams and giving you guys the results, and even giving you guys everything you need to pretty much have everything broken down in front of you, so this way you guys can understand exactly what is going on. So I will say this, that thank you for coming on to the Spectrum podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys and help me get this channel to grow. I will be on the OHL podcast. I will continue to do so, but I will be here on the Spectrum podcast breaking down every bit of news, every bit of drama, every bit of games that have been happening in the sports world, particularly basketball and football. I will be breaking all of that down. And you guys ain't got to worry. Any news that comes up in the portal, I will also be giving my thoughts on recruits. Now, I'm not great with recruiting. I will leave that to Mika and Vader because that is the best. But I will give my thoughts on recruits. I will give my thoughts on transfer portal. I will give my thoughts on everything that has happened. Now, I know for a fact a lot of people will want to know, are we still going to be talking Ohio State on here? Yes. We still will be talking Ohio State, but we'll also be talking all college football. This channel is not just for Ohio State fans. It is for all fans. It's for all of you, because you will be keeping up with every bit of news that happens going on in the sports world, especially for Buckeye fans who will be listening to this podcast. You will be able to have big news coming up about TreVeyon Henderson, Quinshon Judkins, CJ Stroud, and all former Buckeyes that will be on this channel. Couldn't give you any news about them today, but I can give you guys news starting tomorrow. And tomorrow we'll be talking about the college football playoffs, the national title game, particularly between Indiana and Miami. I give you guys my full sense on it, and I will give you guys my breakdown of Ohio State and their transfer portal if they have any more additions that have been happening. I will give you guys the full breakdown on that starting on my next show. So I'm looking forward to continuing this show. I'm looking forward to continuing the development. I am going to have Vader help me organize a lot of the topics moving forward regarding news with the NBA, news with the NFL, and everything. I will make sure that these shows get properly set up. That is a promise to you guys. Like, you guys won't see shows like be out of order or anything. This show will be professional, and you will get all the coverage you need. So I look forward to seeing you guys. Check out the Spectrum podcast. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Hit those notifications so you never miss an episode. Make sure you guys share this out to friends, family, and everybody that you know, and get this out there. I would love to help you guys have my channel grow, to help this become bigger than ever. And more importantly, like I said, on Patreon, I will be doing watch-alongs. Mainly, I will be doing reactions to games. And it's only going to be on Patreon because I got the time to be dealing with copyright strikes. So I love the fact of having you guys on here. Wish you all the best. Peace out. And TG, see you guys later.